Good evening, everybody. It's 7:05. We're going to conduct a meeting here. Notice is a regular meeting, Thursday, December 8th, 7:05 agenda. The City of Cotulla Council will meet for a regular meeting on Thursday, December 8th, 7 p.m. Alexander Convention Center. This is an open meeting, subject to open meeting laws of Texas. We're going to say pledge allegiance.
You got it. Follow the
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. We have the majority here.
Councilman Guate Rodriguez has a water leak at the prison. Councilman Gilbert Ayala is in Galveston, and the mayor is sick with a stomach flu.
Approved for Mr. Rodriguez to be out. I need a motion.
A motion.
Mr. Garcia, motion one. And then another motion. Mr. Lopez, second motion. And for Mr. Gilbert Ayala, I need a motion.
Well, you need to take a vote if you're going to do it separately. So you've got a motion and a second vote, motion, second vote, motion, second vote.
Okay, so both of them already voted.
I'm sorry.
Both of them already voted?
Oh, I didn't hear him vote.
Yes.
Yeah, they did it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah. And for Mr. Gilbert Ayala, I need a motion.
A motion.
Mr. Garcia, motion one.
Second.
Mr. Lopez, motion two.
And the mayor.
And the mayor is out also. I need a motion.
A motion.
Mr.
So
Garcia,
moved.
motion one. And then second motion. Mr. Lopez, second motion. And item number 5 for citizens to be heard. Do we have any citizens to be heard, ma'am? No citizens to be heard. We're going to item number 5. Item A, Municipal Court. Nobody in
No.
Municipal Court? Okay. For court compliance, would you like to give your report, sir?
Good evening, City Council. In my report, I have first warning letters for weed, brush, and grass violations. I have 6 properties listed. You can see from the list. If there's any questions there, I'd be happy to answer any. On the second tier, in the middle of the letter of the report, is second warning ordinance violations. I have 4. Those warnings were sent out. Now, as part of the properties in compliance, I've had some significant response to the letters. And with that being said, I have 9 properties that have worked in getting things in compliance and made changes to the properties and improved those. If there's any questions on anything I've reported.
No, sir. Anybody has any questions for city code enforcement?
No, sir.
I have questions, Mr. Garcia, on the status of the article that came out in the current. Have you had any feedback from the residents on the removal of vehicles at this time?
The removal of vehicles, in fact, I have a vehicle that's gonna get picked up that's on Bella Street. The record service is gonna be here tomorrow. As far as any of the other vehicles, like the ones on the easements on the State Highway of 97, those vehicles were tagged by the Sheriff's Office. I visited with the Sheriff's Office, and they tagged those vehicles, in fact. So they're gonna have those property or persons of owners are gonna have anywhere from 48 hours or till Monday probably to get them removed. With that being said, I'm still, like I said, working on a document or something where I can document vehicles, a vehicle tow report, because obviously if I pick up a vehicle, I want to make sure I can document what's in the vehicle once the record driver leaves. And of course, Jorge is telling me come January, I should be able to have the software that I need so I can do my reports, and hopefully I can structure that information better, because right now I'm doing just Word and Excel and spreadsheets, so I really want to take that off in the next meeting, hopefully.
Any other questions for the code enforcement?
No?
No, sir.
I have one, sir. I don't know if, I know you mentioned to me in the past that you want to start doing night inspections. Night inspections
I apologize.
on the lighting, on the poles.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you're going to go ahead and get started pretty soon, or more likely get an
Well, I
idea.
had already talked to Mr. Dovalina some time back that I might come out late in the evening one night, just come and survey the city, see what lights are out,
Yes, sir.
and go from there.
Okay.
Of course, in talking with Mr. Lambert también, or here recently, he's mentioned that they're doing some upgrades on their lighting on some of the lights. That should improve them, going to LEDs. So that's a phase they're going through, going to be doing.
Okay.
So I will be doing that
We
inspection.
just signed an agreement with AEP for each high-pressure sodium light that goes out. It'll be replaced by an LED light, and the charge is reduced significantly from the other. And as we go along, those things will change. The rule of thumb is that if there is a pole there, the installation of the light on the pole is free as long as you pay the electrical charge. The spacing between poles for lighting is generally 300 feet, every 300 feet. So you alternate the poles in either direction so that you have balanced lighting as you go through the street. But there's a lot of areas in town that probably need additional lighting.
Correct. No more questions for you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Water and waste water.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Dovalina. On the water, for the month of November, we saw a gain of the aquifer gained 32.14 feet. So right now, our water level's at 502.04. Our water demand for November was 32 million gallons, and the daily demand was 1.08. Well 9 went out, was out for service and repairs, and it's currently back up and running. Also, we had Jesse and his crew. They replaced 200 feet of 2-inch cast iron line with PVC on Houston and Magnolia Avenue. And then they also replaced about 100 feet of 2-inch cast iron pipe with PVC on South Boutwell. And that's all I have on the water.
Any questions for the water department?
No, sir.
Jimmy, how are you with the inspections that are going on, for the testing of the water samples?
They've been coming out good, sir.
I have one question for you, sir. I think I mentioned to David a little while ago, and maybe yesterday also, probably getting to purchase some gas monitors for your department.
The only gas monitors that are out there, because I researched it, was for confined spacing.
Okay. Like, do you have anything available in your department right now like that?
No, we don't go into the manholes, so we don't have that. We don't have those gas detectors.
But can you have one at least in your department just
You
to
don't have any SCB units?
We do have the SCBA's. He's asking about the
Is
The-
the
the-
ones the fire department uses
Yes, sir.
Correct.
for gas.
Yeah.
We can purchase those.
Okay, I appreciate it. No more questions. Thank you, sir.
All right. On the wastewater side, I have, don't have very much other than to report that, the contractor, they will be mobilizing Wednesday and Thursday. And, the reason for the delay of mobilizing was because they were waiting for some, manholes, and they should be breaking ground on the 19th. So that's what I have on the wastewater. I'm gonna do the gas as well, so,
Good.
month of November, was there any questions on the wastewater?
No, sir.
The gas report, in November, we had, 44811, calls. The crew repaired a gas leak, and they also removed the gas meter at Las Palmas, nursing home. And we're also currently looking at the new, a new section of, line that we have to replace, for the Railroad Commission. We had Tanner Price, he completed, the online classes, so his next step would be to get, field qualified. And as far as the leak survey, the crew has also, completed all 70 of the leak survey, gas leaks.
Any questions on the gas department?
On the price of the gas that's being shipped to Cotulla through the pipeline from Delhi, what is the status on the pricing of the gas at this time?
Yes.
You know,
Like the
the
condition.
price,
Yeah,
the price
the
on a
price-
month,
yeah.
the price on a monthly basis has gone down considerably. We're currently between 6 and 7 cents.
Do you foresee any lower pricing or the
I
stabilized? You
No,
know?
I don't suspect it's gonna go lower than that.
Thank you.
I have one question for you, sir, if you can answer. I believe I called and I spoke to Mr. Duvalina in regards of gas lines that does not have any meters. Don't know the exact address of it, but I believe it belongs to the alleyway of Joe Galvan. I believe there's 2 gas lines that have been there for many years without a meter. They're sticking out about 1.5 feet, and I was just wondering if it got removed.
It's a service request to remove the risers.
Okay.
Okay.
And I know we usually, what we do is if a customer calls and wants that riser removed, we have them come in and sign, because if later on they want gas services, they're gonna have to repay for
Correct.
the tap fee. So
Correct.
when they call in to request it, you know, we make sure they sign it and understand, with the understanding that they are gonna have to pay for a new
Correct.
gas
I think
tap.
they
They're
already
right.
went in and signed the
Okay.
paperwork and all that. All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody here for the street and parks?
No, they were, they went to San Antonio to pick up the brand new solid waste truck, but they have a written report in the packet.
Correct.
And that goes
Nope.
for sanitation as well.
Okay.
That's a written report as well.
Okay. Any questions for that department? Anybody? Animal control?
Good evening, Council, Mr. Duvalina. For the month of November, 21 dogs were placed in the shelter. I had 1 adopted, 4 of them were rescued, 5 were returned to the owner, 11 dead off the street, 9 dogs were euthanized, and a total of 2 work orders. And for maintenance, sanitizing, feeding, and cleaning daily. And any questions?
Any questions for animal control?
I have a question for Mr. Duvalina. The status of the animal control truck, do you know? at this time?
It's the same problem that we've had for the last 6 months, is supply issue, and the guy has assured us that the truck is gonna be delivered in January, and then we did a deal with Gunn Chevrolet in San Antonio.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I have one question for you, sir,
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Dovalina. Maybe, I know that we only got one dog adopted for the month of November. Is there any possibility to put pictures on the website to motivate the people to adopt?
We can, there are some dogs that, did we put them to sleep?
No, I still have them. There's about 4 of them.
There are some dogs that are on the borderline of being vicious dogs. We do not want to have anyone adopt them.
Correct.
And in fact, we may need to put them to sleep. But the ones that are available for adoption, we can put on the website.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Main Street?
She's sick as well.
Okay.
They did the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. It went very well. We had some problems this year. We've not put up our trees yet on the light standards, and that's because the person where we ordered the lamps went out of business, and they were bought by somebody else, and so we're having to reprogram light bulbs from another source. And as soon as we get them, we'll have them back up probably this week.
Okay. Any questions for the city administrator?
We were mixed signals that we were supposed to have a draft plan of the airport planning document that we did. It was an airport plan that was done by Kaufman and Associates. It was furnished as a grant from Texas Department of Aviation in Austin. The plan is finished, and the proposal is to have that report to you by the first meeting in January.
Any questions? If not, we'll move to item number 6. Item number 6, approval of the minutes for the meeting of November the 10th, 2022. Have you all looked to it and read it? I need approval to
So
pass.
moved. So moved.
Mr. Lopez is
I'll second.
approval for number 1. I need another one.
I'll second.
Mr. Garcia, the second motion. Now we move to resolution to be approved, item number 7. Discussion of possible action on an ordinance of the city of Cotulla, Texas, rezoning AB 669 SA and MG RR COV SV-11 PT of the 3NA from Class A single-family residence to a Class G commercial business district as prescribed by Code of Municipal Ordinance City of Cotulla, Section 58-5. Amendment declaring a public purpose incorporation critical, providing for severability and setting a effective date. Do we have anybody that would like to speak on that behalf? If not, would you like to speak, sir?
No questions.
Okay. Okay, sir. We need an approval.
This is the rezoning of the shop code, right?
No.
What is this?
No, this is a tract of land that's immediately next to the
Behind Flying
Jet Supply.
Jet Supply.
Is that what it's called?
Correct, Jet
And
Supply.
which is already commercial. And so the proposed zone is to go and make it a commercial as well, since it already sits astride the other property. Yeah, there's a vacant property to the west and commercial to the east adjacent to the property.
Mr. Dovarina, has he met all the guidelines that are
Yes.
required?
Yes, he has.
I don't foresee any problem at this time. I'll make the motion.
First motion given by Mr. Lopez. I need a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Garcia, second motion. Motion to be approved. Item number 8, presentation of financial statement by Jorge Flores.
Council members, good evening, Mr. Dovalina, Mr. Peña. The first report is the sales tax report. For the month of December, the city received $200,370. Very good month for sales tax. In fact, if you look at the previous 4 years, we don't have a single $200,000 month in there. We may have had prior to the 18-19 year, but in the last 4 years, we have not had a $200,000 month. So for the year, the city has received $529,820, which is a 33% increase over the prior year. Next report is your hotel motel tax report. For the month of November, the city received $45,926. So far for the quarter, the city has received $312,602. Again, the hotel motel is doing very well.
Before you go any further, I have a question, sir, for that. I know this question I've been asking you months and months in every meeting. Have all the hotels paid up front already?
Yes, we just finalized the report of 7 properties that we did, and I have the report in my office, and all of them have complied.
Thank you.
The next report is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the month ended November. So it's for the first 2 months of the year. And I'll go over the report for the benefit of the council members that may not have been present at the last meeting. This is the report on the new software. So it's very similar to the other software report, but this one actually has a prior year. If you look at the first column, that is a prior year column, but they're totals. And because of the way that the conversion took place, the totals for September were all included in the month of September. So for this first year, we're not going to be able to provide the totals on a month-to-month basis. So this is just, for the whole year, we're going to be seeing these totals for last year, for the 12 months. So the next column that says anticipated, that is our budget. Current revenues is the revenues for the month of November.
Yeah.
The year-to-date revenue is the total starting October 1st through November 30. So that's for the first 2 months of the year. And that's the one that we're going to be looking at. If you look at the shaded in areas, it gives you a total revenue October and November of $565,574. Now the expenses, if you look at the first line of each department, it starts with the number 12, 10, and then 4 zeros. Those are general government expenses. If you look at all of the columns, those are just zeros, and they will be zeros for the whole year. This is just to identify that Department 10 are general government expenses. On the next page, again at the bottom, the shaded areas are the total general fund expenditures for general government, for department number 10. And this report will summarize, if you turn to page number 5. In the middle of the page, it has a summary. So if you look at the last column, total revenues are $565,574. Total expenses are $300,938 for net income of $264,635. On page number 8, are the totals for the water and sewer fund. Year-to-date revenues of $304,223, expenses of $222,443 for net income of $81,780. Page number 10 is the gas fund. Revenues of $72,939, expenses of $44,828 for net income of $28,111. And on page number 12 is the solid waste fund. Total revenues $134,675, expenses of $88,075 for net income of $46,599. And the last report is a check register. And these are all the checks that were issued, accounts payable checks, that were issued November of 2022. So on page number 3, at the bottom you see that the total of checks issued for November were $321,594. And the other pages after page 3 will just give you a breakdown of the totals of each individual fund. Are there any questions on the financial report?
Any questions for Mr. Flores? I have two questions for you. How's that new software working out? Is it still kind of difficult for the employees? Are y'all grasping it?
I think Georgia can answer that question better, but I haven't really heard any complaints. With new software, sometimes there is also a change in procedure. For example, we have some vendors that have a lot of invoices, and in this software, we need a PO for every invoice. Not for every invoice, but every yeah. The problem was that we had so many invoices that the description of each invoice didn't fit in the check stub. So we had to change our procedures to issue multiple checks if we have a vendor that has a lot of invoices. So it's more a matter of changing procedures than having trouble with the software. And as we get to know it, we find out what procedures need to be changed.
One of the things that I would like to see, probably in the near future or soon, if the individuals they would like to pay their bill online, because instead of going and paying there at the office, pay it online. Because sometimes they run out of time, they don't get there in time. If they had an option, pay it online, I would think it would probably be better in the future.
They currently can pay by phone with a credit card.
But can we set it up? But can we set it up so they can pay it online instead of phone?
You can stress doing ACH payments directly out of the checking accounts.
Okay.
And on Wednesday, the software began the conversion process of utility billing. So we go live with utility billing on Monday. They do have a feature. If they go on our website, there will be a button to pay your bill. I don't know how long that's going to take, maybe a few months, but there will be a button to pay the bill.
I would like to see that because I know that sometimes the phone lines are down at the city office. Sometimes the individual doesn't want to give the card information through the phone, or even they may not even have a card, or vice versa. But I would like to give that option to the individuals out there.
And we will also have the ability to email the bills to all the customers. We don't even have to send. For those that volunteer to get on
To go paperless,
we will be emailing them the bill.
even better. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Flores?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. We move on to item number 9, discussion of possible action on a request submitted by Superior Cornhole, a nonprofit organization asking for permission to use the Alexander Convention Center with a fee waived on Friday, December 23rd, to host a cornhole tournament toy drive for the children of Cotulla. Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf?
I'm just here to answer questions.
Okay. I'd like a motion to pass that waive. Oh, go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
If y'all have any questions.
I wanted to discuss that I think it's inappropriate to have that tournament here on the premise because we would need to have a great deal of protection so that the floors don't have a problem. And I understand that they're saying that they will put carpeting or mesh or something on the floor to prevent it from getting damaged. But I still have a concern that this is an outdoor event, and why they want to have it in, I guess, is because of the weather. But I don't understand why you would want to have it in the building. The other issue is that we have waived the fee in the past for nonprofits, and I think they say that they're a nonprofit, and I just wanted to know, are you chartered?
No, we are not currently an established nonprofit at the moment. We would like to, just to help better serve our community as far as toy drives and fundraisers and stuff like that, but we are currently not an established nonprofit at the moment.
So the problem you have is that when somebody comes in for a waiver, you can consider it, but you want to do what lawyers say is paint the purple cow. And what they mean by doing that is that you make the waiver so unique that you don't have a list of or a line of people showing up at the next meeting and all asking for it to be waived as well. Because what you end up doing is you set a precedent. If you do it for one, you do it for all. You can't choose, I'm going to do this for this one, I'm not going to do this for this one. So you have to establish criteria that allows it to happen. And I think originally when we set up the dates and we set up the rental fee, we said we would consider nonprofits when they came to council. And if you think this is an appropriate use, it does not have a charter. Most of the organizations that have come to you do have a charter, but it is a good benefit for the community, which you may want to waive that, but you need to be aware of what you're doing in the process when you set up the waiver. That's the only concern I have.
And also to answer your question as far as the flooring and stuff, turf mats are placed under the board, so the actual wooden boards do not make any contact with the floor. So there's no way to damage the floor. And as far as hosting it inside, like you said, the weather is one thing that we're trying to consider. Just it kind of pushes more people to come when it's an indoor area, and a lot of places do host them indoor and outdoor. So we're just hoping that by having it indoors, we can get more people to come, because it's not just people from our community that come to these events, it's people in the surrounding communities as well, such as Dilley and Pearsall and other places as well.
And the only thing that's going to happen is the tournament itself.
Yes. I mean, we will have music just as entertainment. I mean, it's not going to be a dance or anything like that, but just to have music playing at the moment while the tournament's going on.
Are you gonna sell beer or something?
No.
No
Not
alcohol?
that I'm aware of.
No alcohol on the premises?
Yeah, I mean,
If you do decide to sell beer, you have to obtain a liquor license, and we need to see it, otherwise you can't do it.
okay, I understand that.
I need a motion to approve the item to be waived.
I'll motion.
All in favor?
I'll second it, though, that you meet all the guidelines that are required by the city.
If you need help getting chartered, let me know and I'll help you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
So motion. Mr. Lopez, motion 1. Mr. Garcia, motion 2 to waive it. We move on to item number 10, discussion of possible action to approve election services contracted between LaSalle County and the city of Cotulla.
This was an item that the council approved, I believe, in the September agreement. September meeting. I have forwarded this to the county's election administrator, who I believe sent me an email saying, hey, we're going to send it through our process, but I've never actually spoken to her, although I've called the office. So I really don't know where this is at. I don't know if
Georgia, you want to add something to this?
All I know is when last time I spoke to Ms. Maldonado over there at the county, she was sending it over to her, to the county attorney, to Ms. Martinez, to review and get approved. I don't know if I don't believe it has to go through Commissioner's Court.
yes, it would.
I think actually, if they have an elections administrator, she can make the decision in a county. But I don't know.
I'm not aware of that. In fact, if you look at the agreement, the county, I believe the county judge signs off on it. We did get an agreement that Georgia sent me that was like, I can't recall, it's a school district somewhere, or maybe it was another city, and it was a lot shorter. It didn't have a lot in there. I think this is a better agreement than that one. Yeah, this would be signed by the judge. Yeah, so who's not even the judge yet. So then we're presuming that this will not get done this month. I guess if Judge Rodriguez wanted to approve it before the end, whenever he goes out at the end of the year, right?
So that might be the holdup.
Yeah, I think that may be. So they have actually just said, hey, we're looking at it. I know historically it's taken a while to get stuff through the county, because you've got a whole bunch of elected officials doing different things. So
Are they gonna have another meeting before the end of the year?
I think they just have it this week. Okay. They just have it this week.
So you need to check to see if they're gonna have a meeting before the end of the year. If not, you won't be able to get it on their agenda until January.
And
you
like I
would-
said, that might be why they're waiting for the new.
There's that last page has the new judge's name on there.
yeah, because I knew he was going to be the new judge. So, I mean, we can change that. I just don't know what they're doing with it.
I'll give her a call and find out.
But there's nothing to be approved on item number 10.
No, it's just kind of an update. I mean, we've submitted something to them. I don't know why they wouldn't agree with it. I mean, it's the same thing that they said they would do, you know, but it's a little more detailed. I guess we'll continue to follow up with them.
Motion to table.
No action taken. Item number 10.
Motion to table.
Sir.
Motion to table the item.
Person to table the item,
So move.
Mr. Lopez. I need a second motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Garcia, second motion. Moving on to item number 11. Discussion of possible action and authorize Mayor Javier to sign all documents related to the USDA application for the Cotulla LaSalle County Airport hangar.
This is a process where we're basically trying to do an application to get the interest rate set on a possible loan. And it's in the preliminary stages. The loan itself, if we decide to go through it, would come to council. But you would authorize the mayor to sign all agreements according to the forms that are being submitted to USDA. The loan itself has to come back to the city, so we're merely exploring the situation to see if it's possible. Steve and I have been working on creating a foreign trade zone at the airport, and we have had discussions with Senator Zaffarini, and she has agreed to introduce the foreign trade zone bill for us when the legislature convenes in January. And so this is just moving ahead with everything that is moving forward, but it's not anything concrete other than making an application, finding out if money is available or what the parameters of it would be. And
So basically, it doesn't consider him giving full authorization to purchase anything or anything like that
it doesn't commit us to anything other than the application
process. Okay.
So just as a quick update, the documents have all been sent to Zaffarini's Chief of Staff, Mr. Jorge Ramirez. We've published all the things we were supposed to publish. The legislature will convene sometime in January. I'm not sure what day. They will then go through that process. It's really a fairly simple process. They basically say City of Cotulla can do it. Then the city has to apply with the U.S. government. I think it's the Department
of Commerce.
And that's another. It's a two-step process. The Commerce Department says we won't let you do it unless the state says you can do it. So they pass the state law, then you go to them. So it may be a while before we get it done. I don't really know.
The process that is going to go through, we, the city council, will be also notified of all the steps that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So when the legislation gets approved, now remember, typically the legislation is not effective until September 1 of the following year.
Correct.
So it's going to be a while.
Correct.
I think there are some exceptions to that, but typically we wouldn't expect to be able to do anything right away.
Okay.
Except start the process.
Correct. I need an approval for item number 11.
I'll motion.
Motion, Mr. Garcia.
Second.
Mr. Lopez, second motion. Moving on to item number 12. Discussion of possible action to change order number 7 submitted by Frank Briscoe, architect, adding 19 more, moving to substantial completion date to December 28, 2022.
We had some problems in getting supplies, specifically lights, and so he has asked for that additional time. We're almost finished with the building, and that's why he's asking for the days.
19 more days?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have, I think the second floor will have substantial completion by next week. And we have scheduled the furnishings to be delivered by January 2nd or 3rd, I think. So we're almost ready.
Okay. I need a motion for item number 12.
A motion.
Mr. Garcia, motion number 1. Need second motion?
Second.
Mr. Lopez, second motion. Moving to item number 13, discussion of possible action on contractor application payment number 15 submitted to Briscoe Architect Conservation in the amount of $10,908 for Stockman's National Bank Phase 2. This is additional money.
This is under the same contract, and I'm just telling you that we're gonna cut them a check for the additional amount of money, but you approved the contract
Okay.
many months ago.
I need approval for item number 13.
A motion.
Mr. Garcia, motion number 1. I need another approval.
Second.
A second from Mr. Lopez. Moving on to item number 14, discussion of possible action to approve the 2023 holidays schedule. Has y'all been a chance to look at the schedule?
We have kept the schedule with the same dates as we had in the previous year, and we have made no changes from last year to this year.
Any questions for item number 14?
No, sir.
I have a question for this schedule. I was just wondering, will there be something going on, especially because it's July 4th, it's a holiday? Will the city have something going on for the 4th, July 4th?
We can.
Because I know that every year they pop firecrackers.
Yeah, we can do an event that day.
Okay. I need an approval for item number 14.
No motion.
Mr. Garcia, motion number 1.
Second.
Mr. Lopez, motion number 2. Moving on to item number 15.
This is a longevity amount that the city has given in years past to employees. We kept the same rates. We had some people move over several columns. I think it's less money than we did last year. I think we did 39,000 last year, and this year it's actually 35,000. And we did change the category where we did 6 months to a year, because every employee under 6 months is actually on probation, and so that employee should not be entitled to a longevity pay. And that's what we set out on the shaded portion of it that you see, is because some of these employees we just hired 2-3 weeks ago, and we're not going to give them any longevity pay for that type, unless you feel differently.
I have a couple of questions. I think I mentioned it to Mr. Peña before the meeting started. I see the category on the far right. There's about 8 individuals that have from a couple of months to 5 months and shy of almost to 6 months.
Yeah.
I know that I don't know what is the criteria of the probation on the employees.
6 months.
That's on.
It's right here.
But
It's in the handbook.
It's in the handbook.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was wondering, because if that could be changed from a 3 months to 6 months, another category above the 6 months to a year. But now you're stating that there's a probation.
Yeah, they may not be employed here if they don't do adequate work. You know, once you reach probation end, the department director has the decision to make to keep them or to let them go. And there may be some employees that they don't necessarily feel are gonna stay. But you can make the change if you want to the 3 months that you're talking about. But if you do that, then I would think that you would change the employee handbook to do something about the probation.
Because recently, I know that where I work, we got a stimulus check, or not a stimulus check, it's a check. It's like a bonus check or something like that. But we have to sign a paper that if we leave the department, we have to pay that monies back.
That would be tough.
Well, we have that, but that's a yearly thing. But I know it's hard, but we had that. But I don't know can we do something for these individuals that have more than 3 months that you know that they're a value to the department? Because I know the past 3 months is on some departments is a probation for 3 months, not 6 months.
I have one employee here that's only been here 3 weeks.
Yeah, that I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw a couple employees there that are almost shy of 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just wondering maybe.
But remember that you already gave them a raise at the
Correct.
beginning of those employees that have almost 6 months. You just gave them a 5% October 1st.
And that's why I'm asking.
To what they originally were getting.
And that's why I'm asking on the probation thing, because I didn't know if maybe was it 3 months or 6 months. But you're saying it's a 6 month probation.
It's a 6 month. It's
Okay.
on the handbook.
Any other questions for this item? I need approval for item number 15.
I have a question. On these individuals that have just started with the city, can we consider $200 an incentive to stay, and just to give them like an encouragement to stay in?
If you look at the schedule and you see the people that are there in the list that is growing from year to year,
Right.
at the upper end, you can see that the
Right.
employees have a good incentive to stay, and in
Right.
fact,
Right.
are rewarding you with the fact that they are staying in
Right.
the city. And these are new employees that we barely hired.
Okay.
They've not even been here a year. Pero if it's your wish to give them $200, we can come up with a different list. But if that's a change you want to make, we need to approve it tonight, because we don't have a meeting between now and whenever we're going to have the event.
How does this get paid out? Is this a increase to their salary, or is it a one-time payment?
It's a one-time deal. Whatever you want
I'd
to
like
do.
to entertain the motion to consider
To consider which,
the 200 for the.
So, to that being said,
so you're saying you're doing a motion to amending what is proposed to include $200 for these people that are in
In the
shade,
black box, right?
correct?
Correct.
And that's what you're saying? That's fine.
so are you gonna? Does that have to? Are you have to make a change to the handbook because of that, or?
No, we still have, the handbook's not on the agenda.
No. It's just tonight for this.
So it's just an item to fix or to amend what is being proposed.
And the approval for item number 15, to increase 200 on the remaining employees.
That's, he's amending
He's-
what he has before him.
Correct. Mr. Lopez is amending it. I need a motion. Mr. Lopez already gave me the first motion. Second motion,
I'll second.
Mr. Garcia, second motion.
So the motion is to approve it with the change to the shaded area.
Correct.
For the $200.
Correct.
Okay.
Now we go to item number 16. It's the closed session. We got three categories, A, B, and C. First one is the Texas Government Code, section consultation with the attorney. B is deliberation about real property. And item number 3 is personal matter. At this time, we're on closed session. Time is 8:01. Okay. We're back and to open session, and nothing was discussed on closed session,
And the time.
and it's 8:24. Meetings is adjourned.